Hello and welcome to the Insecure Chef. I'm here with Regina again. As always, it's a nice cold day. Christmas is about less than 2 weeks away. So, happy holidays to everybody. What we're going to do today is what I'm calling faux pasties. Okay, fake pasties. If you're familiar with pasties, Cornish pasties, they're meat pies, very delicious. Let me make it clear right now, these are certainly not any representation, to be candid, of Cornish pasties. I call them this because they reminded me somewhat in the taste and in their appearance. They're simple to make and they're very delicious. That's why I'm calling them faux pasties, fake pasties, because I don't want anybody from the Cornish descent to come and get me. So, as you know, they go way back to the 12th century. The miners in the Cornish lands used to take these to lunch. So we're going to get started. I'm going to be working with Steak-umms. If you're familiar with Steak-umms, they may have a different name where you live, but all they are is very thin, pre-sliced frozen beef. Okay, they cook literally. They used to be known as minute steaks. They'll cook in less than 2 minutes. So I'm going to be throwing them into a medium hot pan. Okay, I'm breaking them up as I do that. You want to cook these frozen. Okay, you definitely want to do that. Just break them up. Pull them apart. Like so. And as always, the recipe, quantities, and everything is on the channel. And while you're there, please take a look at the new short we just put up as we celebrated the baptism of our first great grandchild. That's now up online with the permission of my grandson and his partner. So I thank you for watching that, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we did. So, all right, let me get this going here. As soon as it gets up to temperature, I've got it about medium heat. And once that frozenness breaks down, this will cook very quickly. Now, the only downside of this kind of meat is it's very fatty. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means you need to control that. So once it cooks up, we're going to be putting it here on paper plate to let drain out, because following this, after it's cooked, following this is going to be onions and potatoes. I'm going to saute those. While this is cooking, let me talk to you a bit about the potatoes. I already took a white potato and I boiled it for about 15 minutes, which meant it's probably 90% already cooked. So when I throw it in here, don't think I'm throwing in raw potatoes and I'm cooking them in no time. Like I said, they're partially, almost completely cooked. And then of course they're going to get wrapped up in puff pastry as I make this pasty and get baked in an oven at 400 degrees. So you don't have to concern yourself with the potato not being cooked. For that matter, you might even be able to get away with not boiling it at all. But I felt this was the safest way to do it. So you'll see that in a moment. As you can see now, the meat is cooking up very quickly. All you want to do is get it to the point where there's no pink. Okay, where there's no pink at all. And once that gets there, I'm going to dump it onto these paper towels. And then drain off any excess grease, just leaving just a little bit of the oil in there so I can saute the onions. It was a very exciting time for us with the great-grandson. And like I said, I was very happy to put it online. I was very proud to be still around to watch that. You know, for those of you who have become grandparents, you know, that's very exciting. I don't know how many of us, however, think about becoming a great-grandparent. So we were thrilled when our oldest grandson became a father. All right, we're getting there, babe. Almost done, huh?
Yep, looks good.
Yeah. All right, one more scoop around and that should just about do it. Yeah, you don't want to overcook it. As I said, it's going to be baked for a long time. So I'm going to shut the heat off now, and I'm going to shut that off for the moment. I'm simply going to do this right now is pour it right into the top of these paper towels, like so. Okay. Now, looking there, if I think that's enough oil. If it's not, I'll add a drop of oil to, I'm not going to need much at all. Okay, that should be more than enough. Bring the temperature back up. All right, and that pan should be plenty hot at this point. I'm now going to throw in the onions, and as I said, I'll put the potatoes in with it, but whether you do this step or not, it's really up to you. But since you're busy sauteing the onions, you might as well throw them in. So I'm just going to add that on top of the onions right now. Alrighty, good enough. And I'll throw those in right now here. Let me get that around. And I'm simply going to saute these until the onions pick up some nice color. All right, as you can see, the onions are picked up a nice color now. I'm just going to give it a little shake of salt. All right, a little shake of black pepper. Give that a mix. Okay, now I have just a small quantity of shredded, grated carrot, just throwing that in there. All right, more for color than anything else, but okay. Now we have a little technical problem there, sorry. Okay, we're just about done now. I'm going to be throwing this now right on top of the meat that we had in there. Then this will become our filling. Let me shut my heat off. All right, I'm going to throw that right on top of the meat, like so. All right, and that'll get all mixed up eventually. But we'll do that right prior to our rolling up the pasty, but you get the idea. Okay, we're going to move over now to the other side here. And I have a piece of puff pastry here that I've let to sit out to where it's thawed enough for me to be able to handle it. Okay, take that. Take that there. We can get rid of these papers. All right, I've got it here. I got a flour surface, just a little flour so it doesn't stick. It's usually pretty easy to work with though. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll this out to about 16 by 12 inches. So again, you know, you could use a ruler if you want, but basically we're going to make this nice and thin. So I'm going to start the rolling process. Okay, like that. Okay, so we're going to continue this until I can get it to approximately that size of 16 by 12, and you'll take a look at it when we get there. Okay, I've got that out pretty good. It's not the prettiest, but it'll work out just fine. All right. At that point now I'm going to take the meat mixture, which I've now mixed up as you saw. Remember in here, there's the onions, there's the meat, and the potatoes, and just a little carrot. So I'm going to be taking that now, and I'm going to be ladling it in the bottom portion here. All right, so I'm going to show you how we do that. I'm going to put this down in here. Now, I may have too much. You know, it depends on how much you want to think you can stuff in there. Take a look. See, that's a pretty good size one. What do you think, honey?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and you don't want to go right to the edges. You know, kind of leave it around because it'll make it easier when you fold it up. So we're going to try that, see if that's good enough, because for me to eat, that's plenty. That'll be plenty. So we're going to start that. So I'm going to start here down the end. I'm going to bring this up. Go like that.
Oh, when do you put the cheese on?
I was going to put it on that side.
Oh, okay.
You think I should put it on
I don't
this
know
side?
how you do it. So.
No, I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along, but okay. I can do that as well. Yeah, I've done a version of this before, but you modify as you go along. I don't know, I think that might be enough cheese.
Yeah, that's good.
What do you think?
That's good.
All right, because I was going to put in 3 slices, but 2 to 3, again, depending on how cheesy you like it.
That's it.
All right, let's start it up. All right, go all around, grab those edges. Now, when you get halfway here, you want to start doing some tucking down here, just a little bit like that, because it's going to try to sneak out. Okay. Now I'm just going to tuck those edges in, like that, if you can see that. Okay, same thing on this side. I'm going to fold underneath, tuck it around, like that. Okay, you try to get it as uniform as you can. I think that looks pretty decent.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let me just move this out of the way. Let me bring this pan over here. What I've got here is a baking pan lined with parchment paper. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to place it the seam side down, like that. Whoops. Like that. And now I'm going to do is I'm going to brush this with a little egg wash. This is just an egg with just a little water beaten up. And I'm just going to brush it up there now. That'll serve two functions. One, from an appearance point of view, this will get that nice golden brown crust that we all love. And from a practical point of view, it will help it stay together. There we go. Did I get that side?
Yep.
I think I got that side. I think that looks pretty good. Alrighty. Now the oven has been preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to move over to there. We'll get this open. I didn't know where you were going.
That's all right.
We're not the best. We're getting actually, I think we're actually getting worse, but that, what can I say? Okay, preheated 400 degree oven. In it goes. Just make sure the parchment paper stays down. Alrighty, we're going to close that up. And we're going to set the timer for about 25 minutes. And basically, remember, everything is cooked, so you don't have to panic. So really what you're going to be doing is cooking it until you get to the golden crust you like. I'm going to start at 25 minutes. That begins that. And to me, dear.
Okay.
Anyway, I just wanted to say we'll be back in a minute. Thank you. Okay, I do believe now that this should be done. Let's take it out, take a look. I think that's looking
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think that looks mighty nice.
Right.
Mighty nice. Let's just get that there in a minute. Get this out of the way so we don't hurt ourselves. All right. I think that come out very pretty.
Yes.
We're just going to let it cool for a minute before we cut into it. All right, we let that just cool a bit, about 5 minutes. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut it in half. Okay, like so. Get a nice look at that in there, like that.
Yeah.
All right, see that?
Yeah.
And now I'm just going to cut that in quarters, like that. And I'm just going to grab myself a piece here, like so. You get a good look at that. Okay. And then I'm going to do my usual taste test, and I see the smoke pouring over this. And I'm concerned that you'll hear me yelling and screaming and thinking I don't like it, when in reality I just burnt the hell out of myself. So, well, let's see what happens. Yeah, that looks mighty nice.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely cooked well. Everything's cooked nice. So I'm going to try to eat it, folks, but bear with me if I can't do this safely.
How is it?
It's a very tasty dish. Everything is cooked very nicely. The potatoes are soft. The onions. A little more. Definitely. I'm just going to sit here and eat it. One more time. When it's quiet, it's good. Okay, so here we have my version of what I call faux pasty rather. Others might call it a meat pie, others might call it whatever. So at this point, I want to take the camera from Regina. All right, and she's going to wish everybody
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everybody. And I'm just going to give you a quick look at our decorations for the season. This is 95% Regina. Now, as you can tell, we enjoy it here, nice and peaceful. Usually, except when Eli decides that he's had enough. So, from the Insecure Chef and his wonderful wife, Regina.
Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Right, and thank you so much for joining us. And we're approaching our 1,000, so, and when you get a chance, take a look at that short and get to see my great-grandson and the blessings we've had. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you the next time.